Hello again.
Okay, so nice to meet you. Oh, sorry, take two, guys. Oh well, you don't really need to go through the intro. We don't need to go through that stuff, but I'm going to anyway because this is take two, and as people don't know,
definitely.
We're going to talk for 5 minutes because we just worn out over the last 5 hour conversation. No, I'm joking. We're talking now. There's three things that we talk about on the lounge. By the way, Darcey, Rick. We first one is something from childhood that we still hold true and are working with today. The second thing is something from the recent past that we still are doing and working with, and the third thing is something from now, which is pissing us off. So, with staying all of that, you're okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got a live animal coming through here.
Hello.
Guys, sorry about that. We have our cat. This is Sophie. So, you don't have to say, but if you would like to say the year you were born.
Born late 99, so 24 now, turning 25 this year.
Sensational. And I can't remember what we said last time, but we could go with this next.
Yep.
So you're in Gen Z. You're influenced a lot by social media.
Yep.
And the things that have gone through in social media, we're not going to talk about now because you can choose this order of things to discuss. And now that we've had one dry run, you'll know what you want to work with and how you want this to run. So tell me, where would you like to start this conversation?
Good question. I think I'll start most recent. So, recently had a daughter. She's about to turn 1.
Wow.
She's the love of my life.
Of course.
Just lights up everyone around her. She's genuinely amazing. Yeah, I think more than anything, I'm a bit worried about where things may go into the future. My plan is to make life as good as possible for my daughter.
So going into the future, is that your doubt of being a father? Your question about?
More along the lines of the way the world's going. I'm worried about the influence that that anything in the world, schooling, social media, and that sort of thing. I'm worried about the influence it could have over my daughter, to the point where my partner and I have decided we're not doing any daycare or anything like that. She'll start school when she's ready to start school. Until then, we're going to spend as much time at home with her as we can. I've got a very strong sort of moral outlook on the world, and I'd like my daughter to be influenced by that rather than things I can't control.
Okay. So you said something about schooling, and that's very important to me as well. I was an educator, tertiary level, not primary or secondary. And my daughter and I have had a conversation recently about her educating her children, or how they're going to be educated.
Yep.
And you said in that bit that you're worried about schooling.
Yeah.
So what is it particularly about schooling that worries you?
We spoke briefly earlier about the sort of the woke agenda, and the need for people of the upcoming generation to please everyone.
Yep.
And I don't think the way the schooling system is going, people are going to have the chance to become their own person. I think they're all just going to get turned into mindless robots.
Yeah.
I don't want that for my daughter. So.
Again, most generations have a feeling of technology and industrialization and how we're all going to become mindless robots to a point, because as technology improves, we're either going to have to work like a mindless robot, or we're not going to work. We're not going to be able to get our stuff done. But education is absolutely critical.
Yep.
Now, my daughter and I talked about homeschooling.
Yep.
So she's intelligent, and you're clearly intelligent. So have you considered homeschooling?
Have considered it. I think more than anything, I'm also worried about the socialization aspect of it. I feel like that's a very, very important thing to build emotional intelligence more than anything else. I think you need to experience the world. I don't feel right leaving my daughter out of school completely, just because I feel like she'd miss out on too much.
Initially, yes. I think and just my opinion, and about opinions, everybody,
Yep.
Same deal. My daughter and I did, as I did with her, from as early as possible, I got her to understand numbers and letters and phrases and words. By the time she went to school, she was more than able to deal with those base skills.
Yeah.
So in primary education, all you need to know, and for my mind anyway, do you remember much of your secondary education?
Little bits, sort of.
So what you can read and write,
Yeah.
do basic maths.
Yep.
And you can understand how to do, a bit about geography and a little bit about
Yeah,
science.
little bits here and there.
That's all primary education.
Yeah, I genuinely think I've learnt more since I left school.
Absolutely.
As it started to interest me, and I did it myself. It's got a lot better that way.
Have you looked? Okay, so sorry to cut you off. The homeschooling is important for me because as a homeschooling environment, you aren't by yourself.
Yeah.
So you meet up, you join a homeschooling community group.
Yeah.
And when you do, you don't do it every day. You might do it 3 days a week. You, your wife, partner, take your daughter to the group.
Yep.
And the group socializes and the group interacts and the group goes on activities together. They don't do classroom activities. They might go, let's go out and how many pine cones have you got? And what if you get 3 to Johnny? How many does that leave you? And people in there, they get actively involved in the education. You were talking about before about getting into a community. And we all should be part of a community.
Yeah.
Now, school doesn't create community.
No.
But a homeschool community group does.
Yeah.
Because your group will go through together all the way through their secondary education.
Yeah.
You as parents are partly responsible or majorly responsible for education of your daughter. So you'd go to the education department, you get the curriculum that she needs to learn by, but you teach her your way.
Yeah.
And she passes and she goes through sort of like tests or opportunities to learn. A lot of people don't like testing, but testing is a word for opportunity to see how you've learned. As a martial artist, you only know how well you've done by going to a grading and passing the grading. Have I accomplished these tasks to be able to move to the next level?
Yeah.
And we all have to have those. But a homeschooling environment is just fantastic. If I had my opportunity and I would have homeschooled my daughter. But that's something to think about as a future thing. So the other aspects of future is the woke agenda.
Yeah.
And your daughter, children, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll go through children because we worked that out. The children are the way to go. The children, sounds like a song coming into my head. Our children are our future. Got to thank Michael Jackson. Children are the way, and the only way we can ever strive to be better in our community is to have good children.
Yeah.
And allow them to grow in a safe environment. So a good child is educated.
Yeah. That's
not indoctrinated.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we need to follow every line that's put in front of us.
So have you know much about history?
I despised history through school. I wagged every class. I refused to go. After school, I started listening to podcasts and stuff like that. I found a couple of comedians that I really enjoy. And they used to have a podcast called History Hyenas.
Oh, right.
And
that sounds almost like fun.
It's good fun.
Having a belly,
it's good fun.
A guttural animal laugh.
It's two professional comedians that both just so happen to like history.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I learned a lot through them.
Is that recent or ancient?
I think they stopped making podcasts.
Sorry. Recent history or ancient history?
Oh, so I was listening to them probably 4 years ago, when I was driving trucks, sort of thing. So after listening to them, I sort of started digging into history, and every now and then I'll sort of pop my head into a book or get online and do a bit of research and that sort of thing. And
what sort of history?
A bit of everything. I'm fascinated with the Roman Empire.
Oh yeah, sensational.
I haven't dug too far into that yet, but it really fascinates me. Egyptian as well. I listen to a lot of stuff about the big wars.
Yeah, there are. Fantastic.
The big two.
Yeah, well, that understanding that the wars and the emotions in the wars and what happens in the wars start to put you into perspective of how things can change in today's world. Like if you look at World War II and look at Hitler and what Hitler did in World War II, not the killing of the Jews, like the mass slaughter of 6 million Jews, but how we got that to happen.
Yeah.
Right? So you look at what the Nazi Party did to the German people to actually get people to be able to push the button and gas and exterminate Jews. So you'll see a similarity today. And with the Romans, the Greeks, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Egyptians, all of those Mongolians, like all of these great cultures of the world in ancient history, all ended. And when you look at the way they ended, it was when debauchery was out and food was scarce, but entertainment was real. So everyone had orgies, and it was all about the orgies. And everyone you could have sex with anyone, and it was all fine. And let's go to parties and eat shit food and get blind drunk. And
it's funny you say that. Just after speaking of Hitler, there's he had quite a vivid sex life, believe it or not.
Nothing wrong with that, but having 1,000 people involved in your sex life is probably a bit ordinary. It was
very strange.
Yeah. So all of that thing is real. Like, if you look at even the Roman Empire, which is most vivid, and Caligula or whatever his name was, who had the parties, and it was all orgies and men fucking men, and women and women, and they're all doing it together, and everyone's naked and walk around, food wastage, and you just see, well, that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Like the Western world is repeating the patterns of the past. So the young people today who are doing all of this stuff, and some of the old, are forgetting that that's the end of a culture. That's what happens at the end. When you've got nothing to do, or you've lost a value. You've lost values in the old ways, the old traditions. You let them go because they're old. And who wants? I don't want something new. And they don't then hold on to a new tradition or the old traditions. They go, oh, let's just have sex because it's all real. Yeah, let's do it on YouTube. Let's do it on whatever that. Don't tell me the name because I don't want to put it on there.
Yeah.
Where they all just look at me and all that sort of stuff, which is fine. I'm not judging that as good or bad, but everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
And I'll say, I look at a woman today when we were walking the dog, and she G-string down the beach, family beach. I'm going, yeah, she's an OF.
Yeah.
Like straight away.
You don't.
And that's horrible to think that.
Yeah.
It's horrible to think, but that's what you think.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Because maybe I'm a grumpy old man. I don't know. But that influence with your daughter?
A little bit worried about that one. Especially, I've only got one child so far. Having her being a girl, that's a big bit of a worry.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to hear about anything like that, even if that's the path she chooses to take. As long as I don't have to know about it.
You'll know when she comes around your house in a Lamborghini. How'd you get that, dear? I don't know. Someone gave it to me. Yeah, but all of that's real.
Yeah.
The social media aspect. Okay, so I know this is a long way in the future, but no, there's nothing wrong with preparing for the potential hurdles that may come across in the future. Technology for your daughter?
Technology I'm not too worried about.
To what degree?
I think without it, you're going to be left behind.
Okay, so what degree of technology? Mobile phone?
A mobile phone, if I get the chance, I don't think a mobile phone should be an acceptable thing before at least, say, high school.
Yeah.
The only issue with that being you need a band of people to do it together. Otherwise, there will just be ridicule for the fact that she doesn't have it.
Look, that 100%, that happens now, like so often now.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that, you don't have it. Look at you, Then you go, okay. So is there a way for you to build resilience in your daughter for her not to be affected by that?
Hopefully.
Well, that's the goal. Isn't that the goal?
Right? That is.
So what isn't being, this is my worry as a grumpy old man, that what isn't being taught in the children today is that resilience.
Yeah.
So I guess
everyone's being taught that if, I suppose it comes back to sports with children, participation trophies.
No, I don't.
No one needs a participation trophy.
There's my 5 head coming on again.
Yeah.
What?
It makes no sense because if you have no need to strive to get better, then why try?
And okay, so I'm going to ask you. I ask this of people of new that I've met. Because I coined a phrase in early 2000, in that 2010s sort of time. So let me ask you. You've heard the expression "practice makes."
Perfect.
True. Okay, so what's perfect?
Good question.
So if you tell your daughter, if you keep practicing beautiful, practice makes perfect.
Mm,
Right? And she'll go, I'm practicing my fucking ass off. Right? I say this to you. Let me paint the picture
Yeah.
why I coined this phrase. I'm a martial artist, and mums come in, and I'm teaching kids. I can talk kids. And mum say, keep practicing, Johnny, because if you practice, you'll be perfect one day. I said to her, my
Yeah.
God, don't say that to your son. Oh, but practice makes perfect. I'm going, no,
I don't
because
think there
what
ever
is the
really
view?
is perfect, I suppose.
There you go.
Mm.
Right. So when someone says practice makes perfect, and the child goes, I practice every bloody day, and I still can't do that. I still can't do a good front kick. I still can't touch my toes. And I'm practicing every day. Every day I'm practicing. I'm still not perfect. And then Johnny touches his toes and he goes, oh, I still want to get my palms on the floor, or I want to get my elbows to my knees, or I want to touch my head. So I'm not perfect. So I coined a phrase. It's on like one of your cups your mum made for me. Practice will never make perfect, but practice will always make better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
if you can say to your daughter, which I now say to Emma all the time and my grandkids, keep practicing, one day you'll get better.
Yeah.
Keep practicing and you'll be better. Like every single time you practice, you get better. So they're positive phrase, that whole term, practice will never make perfect, but practice will always make better. Builds a resilience in the child to say, well, I'm never going to be perfect, but I'm always going to be better.
Yeah.
And if you are better today, one little bit degree better than you were yesterday,
Yeah.
you're stronger in
I
your
think
able.
that's what everyone should strive for. It doesn't have to be in anything in particular, but if you live a better day today than you did yesterday, then you're moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes you have to go backwards to go forward.
Yeah.
You know, because shooting an arrow, it doesn't fall out of the bow. It's got to come back first.
Yep.
And then coming back, there's a lot of resistance, isn't there? Oh, it gets hard. Then you release it, boom, flies. And if you're focusing on something, you'll hit the target.
Yeah.
So all these things about building resilience in your daughter.
Yeah.
You know, give her a goal. Let her help achieve that goal.
Yeah, that's the hard
Have
one.
your phone and let her see you using it and go, can I have a phone? Yeah, one day. How about you use this? And you give her a tickety phone. Send me a text on that.
Yeah.
And she sends you a text. It's harder.
Yeah.
But she'll do it. You know, no, in anywhere. Sorry, I know. This is me as an old man saying, I'm giving guidance to a younger fella. The interface of a smartphone is the demon of children, and that need is, I think that what you said, that should be bullied and harassed by not having it.
Yeah.
Because that face, that looking of
the
blue screen and the flickering and
well, that's the scary one.
Yeah, there's lots of YouTube podcasts and things on people who talk about that stimulation.
Yeah.
And what it does is a guy called Simon Sinek. Have you heard of him?
I think I've heard.
He does an awesome discussion with another guy on a podcast to the millennial group about the endorphins that come from social media and the want for the likes and things like that.
Yeah.
So, build resistance in your daughter would be an absolutely fantastic thing for the future, and to get past the current, which is the current issue I think we're talking about in that woke agenda.
Yeah.
Hold that, get some values, get some truths and ideas. Read as much as you can. Read 15, 20 books a year, more if you can. Fiction, because out of fiction there are some fantastic pearls. Even science fiction or fantasy fiction or anything that's a fiction based. Read some non-fiction books.
You learn everything. You learn something from everything, no matter what.
Well, if you don't, then you're dead, really, isn't it?
Exactly.
But look at some history. Look at recent history, 20th century history. And this is where the woke agenda comes in, right? It's the cultural Marxism and the stuff that came from the communist agenda and socialism. That's all about everyone being equal, and the government looks after everybody, which is that umbilical cord we were talking about before. It may not be the best option in the world, like capitalism may not be the best way to run, but is, in my mind, the best. Because in a social world, I can work my ass off, and I've got to give money to the government who distributes it with people who don't work their ass off. So I could be, and there's a thing called the Pareto distribution, and that sort of says something like 20% of the people produce 80% of the result.
Yeah.
So if you're in a workplace there's the 20% of the workers will produce 80% of the output. And if you take that into a 10-8-10 ratio or a 10-80-10, 10% of the group of employees or people in the world will be the most productive.
Yeah.
80%, which is the top of the distribution, will be producing. They'll work hard. Like 40% of them will be always working, striving to be in the top 10. Then there's down the other 40%. I'm working, but I'm a little bit lazy, and I'll do a little bit less than I need to, until they drop into the 10%, which is lazy fucks. Right?
Yeah.
And they get pulled along by the 10 or the 50 in the upper high of that distribution. My fear of socialism is that 10% or even the 50% will work so hard that they'll pay, and the 10% who do nothing will benefit.
Yeah.
In a capitalist world that isn't socially based, the 10%, the 50% have got something to strive for. Now, if I really, really work hard, if you really, really do well as a mine operator driving the dump trucks, you might become management.
Yeah.
And you'll get paid more, and you'll benefit more, and you might become a site manager. And one day you might even own a mine site. And that's what capitalism allows you to have.
Yeah.
If you're a socialist or a communist, you've got no motivation.
Yeah.
You can't be the next level. You'll never be the next level. It's like this level, or you're at the top.
Yeah.
So you don't strive. And to me, that's the world we're in today, which is this cultural Marxism, which encourages wokeism, encourages inclusion. Let's bring everybody in because everybody's, it's almost like that little clown world.
Yeah.
So that's really strong. Hey, pulling your kids out of school, and so your children homeschooling with a bunch of like-minded people.
Yeah.
Going down that line. How about food in the current climate?
Food's an interesting topic. I quite like food. I like a lot of the foods that I probably shouldn't. I know I eat a lot of food that I know is not good for me.
Oh, come on, Darcey. Now, what's that? Like, that's just like what is it?
Yeah.
Give me an idea of what you shouldn't eat.
Sugars, for example. I don't think sugars are anywhere close to good for you.
Real or artificial?
Artificial more than anything. But I'm in the process at the moment of trying to cut sugar, but it's everything else is in the world. It's almost addictive. You lose the plot when you cut something off the bat.
There's a thing called the bliss point. You heard of that? In food.
No.
All food has a thing called the bliss point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tested by idiots like you and me, like me, not so much you. That's very rude of me to say that. But they test how much sugar they need to put into it and how many of the other things they need to put into it until the person goes, oh, yeah, I'll have another one of those.
Yeah.
They keep going. They put too much sugar and go, oh, too sweet. Not enough sugar, and it's like, that's a bit bland.
Yeah.
So they find that sugar salt point.
Yeah.
They go, yeah. And then they market it. And there is so much sugar in almost all foods, artificially put in or whatever it may be, that we're almost addicted to all food.
Yeah.
So completely non-processed food.
Yeah.
And then people say, yeah, but all food's processed.
In a way.
Well, if I go and slaughter my own cow, then I'm processing it.
Yeah.
I don't be stupid. That's the argument that the idiots will go to.
Yeah.
But the reality be, say, wean yourself off some added sugar.
Yeah. That's the plan currently.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to do that. So the only way for me to do that, literally, really, is to go carnivore diet.
I'm actually looking at the carnivore diet at the moment. I've seen a lot of benefits of it. So I've got a autoimmune condition called granuloma allura.
Enlighten me.
It's quite a rare condition. It comes out as a skin condition. I end up with sort of, how do you explain it? It's pretty much a rash.
Okay.
But they circles that look similar to ringworm almost. It's very, very strange. Quite rare.
And how and when did that occur?
So it started with me when I was 18, just after I got my tattoo. So from what I know about it, it's sort of a dormant condition that a lot of people actually have, and only surfaces after a major skin trauma.
Oh, did you get it around that tattoo only? Or
so originally, my immune system was just dead set attacking the tattoo. And then from there, it sort of moved to my lower legs and feet. When it was at its worst, that it was all over my hands and up my arms, and it was pretty pretty gnarly. Over the years, I've worked out I get flare-ups with stress.
Oh, yeah.
And through a herbologist, we worked out that I have an intolerance to yeast.
How much bread and gluten do you have?
I drink a lot of beer.
I was going to ask if you wanted a beer. Let's not do that. Do you want a beer?
I'd love one.
I'll go get you. You keep talking to me as if I'm here and I'll go get you. Millie, can you go to the bar and get me a beer?
Doesn't look like it.
I'll go and get you a Great Northern. Hold that thought. Cheers. Right. So Great Northern to a great weekend, experiencing weekend.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, so I have a yeast intolerance, which does bring up the skin condition a little bit. I've worked out in the last couple of years. Normally depends on how much yeast I'm having at a time, sort of thing. So I can sit down and have a couple of beers, but I can't go home and have a sandwich.
Okay, that's what I was going to say, because it's not the amount of yeast; it's the build-up of yeast.
Yeah.
I saw that sounds ridiculous, because the build-up of yeast is the same as the amount of yeast. But to have a beer, to go and have Friday night or Saturday night, have a beer with your family or friends or things like that, won't be bad for a flare-up at all.
No,
because you're not building up by going and having I don't know, like toast for morning and a couple of rolls for lunch and a pie for dinner and all that sort of stuff. A pasta's probably not so good for you either in that case. That's got
pasta. I haven't found has been too bad.
Yeah, pasta's wheat. I think it's made out of wheat.
Yeah, I think I may be wrong here. It's been a while since I've actually looked into it. I just knew I was bad with yeast. So what it actually is there's a lack of a certain bacteria in my stomach, so I have a harder time processing it.
Okay.
So little bits I'm okay with, but I can't have a lot.
Yeah. When you were really young, did you have a lot of antibiotics?
Not really.
No? Okay. Sometimes say that. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. But
antibiotics are horrible.
Antibiotics can eat your gut.
I think that comes back to a lack of education globally. I think antibiotics doesn't just kill bad bacteria; it kills all bacteria.
Yeah.
So I think anyone that's having a course of antibiotics for whatever reason, you need to be on probiotics pretty much directly afterwards for about the same amount of time as you were on antibiotics.
Yeah. So can I ask you a question about that along that line, but to do with cancer?
Yep.
So those of you who've watched the early one I mentioned at the beginning, Darcey's mum on Friday at 10:50 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is the 12th of April 2024, passed away from bowel cancer. And in the last 2 weeks, I've been thinking about it because my mum died of bowel cancer as well. Yeah. So it's like your mum, my it's just, anyway, it's just amazing. It doesn't sound right, but it is. You know what I mean? But anyway.
Small world.
So we're back. Hey, look, that was funny because that was a glitch in the thing. Anyway, I lost the camera, lost the battery. We're back, ready to go. So my question to you along that line was, because of your mum's transitioning and going to see her and seeing all of the thing, that I don't know this to be true 100%, but a long time ago there was the cancer wasn't labelled as cancer. It was, I think, called the wasting disease.
Yeah.
You just waste away.
Yeah.
So on that, same as the antibiotic or the bacteria in your body, is necessary for something.
Yeah.
Everyone tells us that we all have cancer cells in our body.
Correct.
So they're talking about, is there a cure for cancer? And a lot of people say, well, yes, there's a cure for cancer. If there's a cure for cancer and we take that cure and we know we can,
we don't know what else it's going to do.
Thank you. That was exactly my thought over the last 2 weeks. So if we cure cancer and we kill every cancer cell, is that a little bit the same as killing all mosquitoes, and it changes the whole ecostructure of our body by killing the cancer cells? Like, do they have an alternative process? Like, are the cancer cells necessary for our immune system to fight and learn to fight other disease?
Yeah, well, that's it. We're just not sure.
And we're trying to find the cure for cancer externally instead of finding the way to understand and stop cancer in our mentality, you know? I don't know. It's the wasting thing.
There has to be something natural. I think there's no way the way that this world is, I don't think there's a way. Oh, sorry. I don't think that there's a way that there's going to be some sort of miracle drug found in a lab. I think the cure, or at least something to hold it off or to balance the chemicals in your body, already exist, and we just need to find the right plant.
Okay, so all right, cool. So that's leading to where I was going. Like, you're reading my mind or something. Right. So you've heard of metaphysics?
No.
All right. So metaphysics, from my mum's experience of my mum passing, was metaphysical, as in that mindset of saying, a lot of people have heard it. You are what you eat. All of that stuff. But to me, it's like that's partly it. But I have the belief that I am what I think I am.
Yeah.
And I am what I believe myself to be. And if I get, for no apparent reason, my knee is sore.
Mm.
Okay, well,
there's got to be.
That's not an acute injury. If I fall over and bang my knee's sore, and that makes sense. But there's no reason for my knee to be sore, like none, and my knee's sore. And I go, okay, what does the knee represent to me?
Mm.
And the knee to me represents mobility. If I have a bad knee, I can't walk properly. As they say, mobility, movement, thought. Okay, what am I doing that's stopping my mind from moving on? And then I think about the experience around me in the day when my knee started. I go, yeah, I didn't, and now it's manifesting the part of my body that gives me mobility. Whatever it is to you, like for me, it's mobility. For your knee might be flexibility or adjustment, turning. It doesn't matter what it is. So every individual, you can't be reading a book about it, because my opinion is I'm going to write a book now about metaphysics and how the mind affects the body. And if your knee is sore, it's because you have a block in your mind about mobility.
Mm.
You're going to go, well, no, I don't.
Yeah.
My block is something else. So it can't be one person's view on what the metaphysical experience is. So that's going back to what you're saying before about the mind, or something about that's inside of us that can work all those things out.
Yeah, there's something there. I think there's a lot still that we don't understand about the human body, and I don't think we ever will.
Well, how about you know the answer right now? You do. You just don't remember.
Yeah.
That's true. Like, I don't know. Did you after? Well, we'll talk about this in a minute. I want to go after your, because I know the name, but I want to say it. No, I want to say it about your daughter's name, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. Fuck it. When Ella Ray was born, how soon did you hold her?
I think within probably 10 or 15 minutes.
When my daughter was born, I held her within a minute. Oh, 2 minutes. So she went to mum. Mum held her, gave her to me, and I held her, and I just went, smack me.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and I say this because it affected me absolutely beyond belief. And she told me straight away then what her name was. And then I felt this thing, this like hard to, well, you probably get it, but I got it at a point that it actually physically changed my life. I looked at her and thought, she knows everything. Yeah. She knows everything. I want to be like that.
Yeah.
And then I gave it to the mother again, and then the mother gave it to wash and came back after 15 minutes. And I held her and I go, oh, she's different.
Mm.
So in that moment of birth, holding that spirit that was just newly entered in, I realized she knew everything.
Mm.
And then she got into world fear, all the things that control humankind in today's world. She lost it. And then I determined at that point that it's my goal to remember. And I think every human being has the answer. We just don't know how to get it.
Figuring out how to get there.
We just forgot. You just got to remember. And every day you try and remember something, past or future. You can't remember the future. Well, that's questionable.
Yeah.
But you can remember. And not, I mean, remember what you had for breakfast. It's a deeper memory than that. It's like, I've got a sore, I've got an aching head. I'm going to move my hand. I'm going to allow my body to heal it.
Yeah.
There are too many people, a little bit like the woke agenda, everyone's included, participation ribbon. Well, your arms work really hard, so just put it in a sling and let it recover. I go, but I'm going to move it. And so it's letting my mind work and heal my body. So coming back to all those diseases. So, what do you think of that?
Interesting. Makes me think about, like, I've got a pretty bum shoulder. Just makes me think about the way the less I move it, the worse it gets. I need to be stretching at all times.
Yeah, but that was an accident. That was an accident. That wasn't a chronic. That wasn't chronic. Sorry, it will become chronic is long term.
Yeah,
it just didn't happen.
Yeah,
that's something to work.
There's a lot of nerve damage in it now. So for the first probably 18 months after the accident, I had to spend, at least a couple of hours a day rubbing different materials on it because the nerves aren't used to anything touching it anymore. So to the point, I wet a piece of cardboard one day and rubbed it across.
Just for the sensation?
And just rubbed it across my shoulder, and it felt like I was on fire.
No.
It's a really strange feeling.
Do you still have some of that now?
Yep.
Far out?
Yep.
Do you keep touching it?
I rub it all the time. It's more of a comfort thing for me now. So when I get nervous or uncomfortable, I'll sit there rubbing my shoulder, and I start to feel the ache in my shoulder. It's almost like a Harry Potter head scar. It's like I know I've had enough of people when my shoulder starts to hurt.
So if I see you doing that, we're stopping you. If you like, the conversation will be over. Right?
It'll start playing up now because I'm talking about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's because it's what you focus on becomes reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Where you give it, it comes. No, that's really cool. All right, so woke agenda. I'm with it. Worry about your child. I don't know if we talked about it in this version or the first version.
Yeah, I'm starting.
In education,
starting to blur a little bit now. I'm trying to work out where we were and what we've spoken about in this one.
Oh, I've got a little bit. This one's all cool. We're not going to go to the one we finished with last time.
Yep.
Because I don't think that's relevant. Because that's just opened the world up to a can of worms of 5 different things that we can all be. But in saying that, just for you and I, and that I'm not talking to you about it, guys, is do the research, do the reading, find the commonality, and run that through.
I think that runs with everything in life. If anything that you can find that interests you, it's worth reading about. Whether it be cars, whether it be history, whether it be the sky and the universe, whether it's internal body, mind. Reading is everything.
Yeah,
learning is everything.
Yeah, and look, I couldn't have put that any better. Reading about future is what the prediction, science fiction fantasies of the future. Reading about current stuff. Hello, reading about past. Like as you said before, reading ancient history, modern history, and most recent history. See what's happened in the last 10 years, what's happened in the last 20 years. All those things are just going to. And some people say 100 books a year. That's like 2 books a week. I'm not a good enough reader to do that.
No, but, not even close.
Yeah, but if you can read 20 books a year, and that's like 2 books, that's 1 book a fortnight. And small books, long books, any books, that's got to be great, and all of those things.
Now,
Some of your music.
One thing that has to be said, though, with history especially, don't just take one book and take it as the truth. History was written by the victor.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's beautiful. Because that is exactly true.
Yeah. So you do need to do a bit of digging to find out what actually happened.
And if you can get if you read even by the victorious side, 3 or 4 versions of that story, you'll find the differences. Yeah. And then you go, well, what's a commonality? And then go to the opposition and read their side. Yeah. Yeah, it's like debating. Yeah. So if you're really good at and you know a topic, go into a debate and debate the other side of it. Yeah.
I always like to fight both sides in my own head. I like to be able to see things from the bigger picture and an outside perspective more than anything. If I'm having an argument or something like that, I'll go and talk to a friend and ask, what's your input?
Yeah, give us an idea.
Yeah, an outside view is worth everything.
All right, so that's current.
Yep.
So you've got 2 more to go. So not that I'm happy to keep going, but we're not. So 2 more to go. Recent. Before your daughter was born.
Oh, I'm lost again now.
Right. Let's go with before, when you were a career. Before you did career, you were working in where?
I was just a delivery driver. I've always loved cars.
Yep.
There's just something about an engine that tickles my fancy. I hurt myself when I was 15 and knew I was never going to be capable to be a mechanic. The physical aspect of it was going to be a bit much.
Yep.
So I thought I'll get a job as close to the industry as I could. So I started working for a parts mob and
Nice.
driving cars, and got to know all the mechanics. And from there, just picked up my own stuff, and I do all my own work on my own car.
Oh, nice.
That sort of stuff.
So what sort of car do you drive?
I've got a Fairlane at the moment, a Ford Fairlane.
Nice.
Yeah.
How does Clancy go with that?
He hates it.
Of course, it's a Ford.
Yeah, but he drives a piece of shit.
But the Holden.
Yeah, it's a Commodore.
Oh yeah, Commodore.
Yeah.
I mean Commodore.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a little bit of a friendly competition there
Of course.
as well.
Ford. My brother's the same.
Yeah.
I'm a Ford. He's a Holden. I might have gone Ford because he particularly went Holden. I'm not so sure yet. I do remember the Bathurst race once a year had come along, the big V8 supercars.
Yeah.
And we'd always race, and I'd always go for Fords because everyone else was Holden.
Yeah.
So I've had Fords, I've had Holdens. I love them both, but the Fairlanes are just a magnificent car.
Yeah, absolutely.
What year?
Wonderful. 2000.
Oh, so it's a later model.
Yeah, it's not early. I would have loved an early one, but they're getting a bit expensive now.
Oh, and like rocking horse teeth, like rocking horse poo, whatever.
I mean, even my one has skyrocketed in value since I bought it.
What is a V8?
No, it's not. It's just
Straight
just the
250.
Yeah. So I prefer the 6 cylinders. I think they've got a nice note to them.
The 250 was a really good motor as well.
The 250 Crossflow was earlier than the 2000 model.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the motor that's in my car is just a 4-litre VCT 6-cylinder. So VCT is just a variable cam timing. It's like a Honda VTEC, pretty much.
Nice. All the trim?
Yeah, so
Good
full
nick.
leather interior, wood grain bits and pieces throughout the inside.
You've had that for a while?
I've had it for about 5 years now.
Wow. What did you have before that?
I've had lots of different vehicles.
The most memorable one before your Fairlane?
I had a little Bravo Ute, just a little runabout, and it broke down at least once a week. It was the worst car I've ever owned, but I've got some good memories in that one.
Two-wheel drive? Four-wheel
Yeah,
drive?
two-wheel drive.
Nice.
Just a little single cab, and just used to get flogged about. And
Nice.
got turned into a bit of a runaround for myself and all my friends, and got loaded up with way more weight than it should have ever carried, and turned into a bit of a tow rig. And yeah,
all in Darwin.
Yeah.
So before Darwin, do you have memory?
No.
Memory before Darwin? You came
born-
down here for a while, and there was a chance. I thought you were going to live down in Wollongbar, or was that just Clancy?
No, just Clancy came down. So born on the Nullarbor.
Yeah. Your mum went to your mum's wedding on the Nullarbor.
Yeah.
Mum and dad, yeah.
And then I think we sort of jumped up and forth through Australia a little bit. But I always say I was raised in Darwin. My first memories in Darwin. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember the stories of your dad and your mum travelling. I remember mum's Mighty Boy.
Yeah.
And that they were going to build they had a truck. They were going to put a big Pantec on the back and build a bed in the back area, and the Mighty Boy would drive into the back. Mighty Boy would drive underneath, and the bed would be on the top, and everything was going to happen. And then your dad was going to park it in a lot, and he was going to use his truck to do driving. And did any of that happen?
They ended up with the mobile home. When we got to Darwin, they sold it. I think they were looking at settling down. He sold it to a mate of his, and then it wasn't long after that they actually split. So
you were 6, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that idea sort of went out the window. But the mobile home that they built is just around the corner from where I live now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
I still know the bloke that owns it.
And does it attach to a truck still?
Yeah.
Does he drive it anywhere?
No, it hasn't moved in probably
15 years.
Yeah, at least. So
does he live in it?
Dad's mate does, yeah.
Wow.
Still.
Wow,
and
that's cool.
The truck's still there. It still runs. It starts. It hasn't driven, but it's still attached to the trailer.
Wow,
so.
That's pretty cool. That'd be nice to drive past and see that, because technically you can put that on a house anywhere and no one can do it because it's mobile.
Yep.
You can take it anywhere and move it wherever you want to go.
Yeah. No, don't need permits to put it on a block.
Sport player?
Used to be. Played rugby most of my life. I say most of my life. I haven't played in a long time now. But yeah, started when I was about 5. Played right up until I was about
full
50.
rugby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rugby union.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. So sorry. Rugby league, rugby union. Rugby union's awesome. Rugby leagues. Yeah. They bang each other pretty hard. It hurts a lot.
I've played both. I always say that rugby league's better to watch and union's better to play.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that. I love the flow of union.
Yeah. I loved the non-stop.
And you can be on the side that moves the ball the best, and you can have control of the whole game.
Yep.
Where rugby league, you get tackled, just stop.
Yeah.
Oh, I've hurt my ankle. And in rugby union, you get parallel over and they drag you off the back.
Yep.
The game flow doesn't stop.
The competitiveness in league isn't the same.
No, I agree. I don't think so. I think, because I played rugby league and I played rugby union. I stopped playing rugby union only because I was a bit of a wuss. And they put me on the wing. And when I got the ball, I always got a try because I didn't want to be tackled. Because I'd be stuck in a ruck. And I didn't want to have head boots kicking me in the head. And I couldn't pass it to anyone. If you're an inside centre or inside left or whatever, you can run and pass it to someone. You got somewhere to go. But on the wing, it's like, fuck. I ran really quick so I wouldn't get tackled.
Yeah.
But I love the game. It's just an awesome to watch. Was that during school?
Yeah, so that was all during school. Stopped playing before I finished school. Hurt myself. And then I was told I'm not allowed to play union anymore. So I thought I'll go to league. And then I didn't take it under the interpretation of don't play means don't play.
Don't play contact sports.
Yeah, so I just went and made it worse. And then that was about the end of
Do you play any sports now?
No sports anymore. Got a couple of mates that race cars and that sort of stuff. So I'm always just tinkering. Spend all my money on car parts.
As you do.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's a lot that's happened in those times. So anything from that time that you still think you do now? Is that probably be what you just said?
Yeah, just cars. Tinkering.
Yeah.
I love pulling stuff apart. I'm not a mechanic by any means of the word, but I like to think I know my way around a car well enough.
Yeah, would you be able to repair it?
Yeah, I do all my own stuff.
So that's moving this now into the next part of the first part of the conversation. How do you prepare Ella Ray to be resilient?
Yeah.
You're going to teach her your mechanical skills?
I hope she's interested.
Doesn't matter if she's not.
Yeah, she'll know how to the basics at
change
least.
Change a tyre.
I don't think you should be allowed a license without being able to change a tyre. I think it should be on your test.
I think so. People don't do it anymore. I say that change a tyre because about teaching daughters in particular.
Yeah. But change a tyre, hook up jumper leads. Like the amount of times I've had to go and save friends when their batteries have died.
Yeah, not men though.
Yeah.
No, please.
Once or twice.
They're just grown-up boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. A man knows how to put that on and do that stuff.
Yeah. I like to think that even if don't know how to do something, I'll figure it out. A lot of the times I've got a couple of mates that are mechanics, and when I had issues with my car, I'd get them to diagnose it, tell me the part I need. And I'd go and find the part, and then I go, right, I've got the part in my hand. Where is it in there?
Oh, cool.
So
then it's easy.
And I just figure it out.
If you can work it out and you can get what it is that needs to be done to fix it, you can fix it.
Exactly.
We're doing I'll show you the shed in a minute. We'll go down when we're all done and show you what we're doing with Jen's car. I don't know how to do it, but okay. I've got someone to help me. Play around with it and get it done.
Yeah, exactly.
I know what that is because I've done that on a car before.
Yeah. I always have a laugh with my friends because I've got friends that now come to me asking me to help with their cars, and it's almost sad how much I know because I only know what I've done on my own cars.
Yeah.
So
that means you've done a lot.
Yeah. We tallied it the other day. I'm at just over 30 cars, I think.
You already? So far. Wow, 24. I don't think I've had 30 cars.
I got into a bit of a rut where I only had $500 in my bank account, needed a car to get to work, so I'd buy a car for whatever I could get at the time. It'd shit itself a couple of weeks later, and it was going to cost me $1,000 to fix, and I had $500 in my bank account, so I'd go and buy another car. So yeah, I got into a little bit of a rut there. That was a hard one to get out of.
Had quite a few cars lying
around. Yeah. Had a few.
Mad. That's mad. All right, so next one. This one can be the hardest one.
Yep.
And that's from your childhood. What's something from your early childhood that you still hold, not so much close to you, but that you still do as a consequence of?
I think I'd just say general morals. Learning how to develop my character. Both mum and dad were very strong and independent people. Neither wanted to be pushed around by anyone. They're very stubborn people, as you know. And I think just learning how to be myself and not care what others think.
So do you feel that you would learn to compromise better? So I'll just paint there because I know that I don't think we mentioned in this version, but your mum and dad separated when you were six. And there was confrontation. You'd like to hope it's amicable in the best of times, but I don't know the percentage. I just make it up. 80% of relationship split-ups are nasty.
Yep.
And there's all these different things that happen about contact and custody and all those sorts of things. And I think you mentioned it earlier that leave it away from children.
Yeah.
And children in that dynamic are always affected.
Yeah.
So given that as a possibility that happened for you, and I'm not going to paint the picture that that's what happened, if it was, do you believe that from that experience you've gained a skill?
I think I've gained, how do I put it? I've learned how valuable it is for a child to have a good relationship at home. Being in a relationship myself with my own daughter, I know from my experience that that's something I'll never let my daughter see. I'd sort of, in a way, it's sort of a weird way to say it, but I believe having a daughter, I think she's always going to strive to be the person her mother is. And I think she's going to look for a father and a partner. So I need to be very careful about the way I act and treat my partner.
Yes.
So that my daughter knows what's acceptable and what's not.
Yeah. And also, that to me is, I don't know where you get that from. You must be some spiritual being or something like that. Because, but seriously, that people don't get that.
Yeah.
And that's the Trinity. That's the triangle of the left, the right, the middle. There's always the three, the up, the down, the middle. All of those things are there in the mind, body, the spirit. You heard all these jargons, all these terminologies, but when you're looking at the relationship with you and your partner and your daughter, well, there's the Trinity.
Yeah.
And when you have other children, you have that relationship with them as well. So you don't separate them all. Each child has that unique relationship between you and your daughter and your partner. And with your daughter right now, you teach her how she needs to react and act to her partner.
Yeah.
She will react and act like her mother as a role model, but you're the role model for the man she needs to have in her life.
Yeah.
And how she treats that man. So if you let your daughter run you over and manipulate you, even though your partner doesn't let you do that, and you don't do that, you won't let your partner do that, but you let your daughter do it, then she'll treat her partner the way she's treating you.
Yeah.
So it's such a fine line.
So that's one thing I'm going to have to learn to balance, I suppose. I've had this conversation with my partner, and even if we were to come to the end of it or something along those lines, I've made it very clear, we will not be having these conversations in front of my daughter. Simple as that. I will never get angry, or I can't say I'll never get angry. I'll never yell and scream at my partner or anything along those lines, because on the off chance that my daughter sees that, I need her to know that is not acceptable behaviour.
Yeah. Oh, look, that's again from the experience that you had as a child, gives you that strength.
Yeah.
And that I think to do that,
Yeah, I think it's incentive more than anything to do it.
And there's other aspects of that you'll find out, and I think you're pretty close to it now, if you haven't already got it, that it isn't just the verbal sound that is bad for children in their growth. It's the ignoring.
Yeah.
It's the quiet sound.
Yeah,
it's
silence
the quiet
can be
noise.
Just as loud.
Unbelievable. And I'm not saying that you're to do this at all, but I have never frowned from having conflict in front of children. But I always strive to have resolution.
Yeah.
This is, if you don't have conflict in front of your child and you don't raise your voice and you don't get angry or passionate about something, when it does happen to them, they won't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
But if you and your partner in front of your daughter have an argument, bloody hell, it goes this way. And then you go away, you come back, and she's still there, and you give her a big hug and say, "Babe, I love you."
Yeah.
And your daughter sees that, okay, arguments are not good. But there's always this thing at the end. There's always this reconciliation. And sometimes there may be an overnight where there isn't one, but the next day you're working together and says, oh, they're not running away from it. Your mum and dad, like my mum and dad, had those arguments and ran away.
Yeah.
And there was no resolution. There was no solving it. And then they left under that dynamic. I'm making assumptions of yours. And then they wanted to keep it alive. And Conflict outside of relationship keeps the relationship alive. So why, like I used to say to my daughter's mom, I said, why do you hate me so much? Why do you keep doing this? Because you know the more you do it, the more you're connected to me.
Yeah.
So if you just stop it and let it go, then we'll drift apart naturally.
Yeah.
We don't have to have communication. But every time you start this fight and this argument, you engage the communication. It's like you don't want to let me go. So let me go and it'll be done. So that's part of that. I'm not suggesting that'll happen, but in all of those things, it is that. It's a possibility. And if there's a possibility, you need a tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tool's real. The tool will be there. And work, because what does practice make?
Better.
Yeah. So you practice that every day, being better every day. And a conflict with your partner or with your child, because you're going to have them.
Yeah.
Man, if she's anything like what Donna was, and there's a good chance she will be, get your DNA coming through, the daughter's going to be stubborn.
Yeah.
And you've got to meet it.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the payback.
Well, you're a stubborn child.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't normally happen with daughters to fathers. I think it might happen with daughters to mothers.
Yeah.
So, you'll go, any advice from an old man to a young man, don't be stubborn when your daughter's stubborn. Because you'll lose, man. You'll lose every time. Hey, that's fantastic. Run 2. Okay, again, keep going, but we've been going for hours and hours and hours. And I apologise for the first one, but Darcey Brick, thank you.
Thank you.
It's been awesome. Guys, Darcey Brick, thank you everybody for watching, being part of the process. Share, like, subscribe, do that sort of stuff at the bottom. And we will endeavour to see you in the foreseeable future. So, as I always like to say at the end of all of my shows, enjoy your journey. Peace, love, and mung beans. And